Alright, guys. That's a wrap. The 2019 Redskins is officially over, as we will enter the 2020 season on a 4-game losing streak, getting destroyed by the Crybabies 47-16. Oh, wow, our defense is a fucking joke. I am so glad our players from the IR are coming back next year. I really am. Our defense has just, after Green Bay injured Ryan Kerrigan and everybody else on our defense, you know, our defense is just pathetic. These last 3 games was just a nightmare to freaking watch. After we got eliminated from the playoffs week 14 by the Packers, our offense played well enough, the rematch against the Eagles, by scoring 27 points, but when your defense gives up 37, it doesn't help cut things, as the Eagles were able to sweep us for the 3rd year in a row. The Giants, that game was even worse. Our offense put up 35 points. We should have won that game, but guess what? Our defense gave up 41. So, again, blame the defense for that game, why the Giants swept us. And the Giants are fucking pathetic. They barely did any better than us. They went 4-12 this year. The fucking Cowboys swept us. And they made it look too easy out there. They really did. 47 points. That was our worst defense game. That's how you wrap up the year, having your worst defensive game. Offense didn't really play well enough, as we only put up 16 points. But there was plays in the Redskins-Cowboys game, a lot of bad calls that should have been made. But when you're in Arlington and you're going up against the worst refs in the league, you can't really expect much. I expected so much from this fucking team this year. I really did. Especially because we've been a decent team over the last 4 years. 2015 we went 9-7, won the division. 2016 8-7-1, not that bad of a year. And then back-to-back years 7-9 because of injuries. This team, the Redskins were pathetic this year. They were absolutely fucking pathetic. Not only were they last place in the division this year, but they're also last place in the conference. And honestly, guys, if the NFL was probably more than 16 games, we probably would be the worst team in the fucking league. We lucked out that the Bengals did slightly worse than what we did. 3-13. This is 2013 all over again. There's numerous things I can complain about why we did so bad. Jay Gruden in the beginning, 5 of those losses came from him. The defense was pathetic this year. Dwayne Haskins, no offensive line. And then injuries the last 3 or 4 games of the season. Honestly, guys, we were probably lucky to win a game as pathetic as we were this year. Because even though we won 3 games, we barely won all 3. We beat the Dolphins by 1 point, the worst team in the AFC East, with a 5-11 record. We beat the Lions by 2 or 3 points, the second worst team in our conference. If it wasn't for that tie week 1 against the Cardinals, the Lions would have been the worst team in the NFC. So that tie saved them from being the worst team in the conference this year. The Lions are still pathetic at 3-12-1. They're just not as pathetic as we are. And we beat the Panthers by 8 points, who were the worst team in the NFC South, who will be entering the 2020 season on an 8-game losing streak. This team was a disaster to watch. And we are so far away from freaking Super Bowl bound. Hell, I don't know when's the next time we're going to the playoffs. This is the 4th year in a row. We missed the playoffs, I would say as early as next year, but I doubt it seriously. I've lost so much faith in this fucking team over the past 9 years of being a fan
that I don't have faith in us anymore. I really don't. I do expect us to play better next year. But, you know, to go from 3-13 to playoff contenders, I just think that's going to be too big of a step. Although I could be wrong. I mean, look at going from 2011 to 2012 where we doubled up our progress, and going from 2014 to 2019, again, a 5-game improvement. But still, even if we do 5 games better next year, that's just going to put us at 500 football. That's only going to put us at 8-8. So, in order for us to go to the playoffs, we're going to have to at least triple our progress at the minimum. Now, regardless, whatever the Redskins do, I'm still going to be a fan for the rest of my life. I'm pissed off. You know, it's very hard being a Redskin fan, especially, you know, during the off season, but eventually the Redskins will be back to their winning ways. Hopefully it'll be as early as next year, but it's going to depend on what we do. You know, there's a lot of things that need to go, that need to happen. Bruce Allen has to get fired. We need to let Bill Callahan go. I was not impressed with him taking over as the head coach. Some of our fans want Callahan to remain as our head coach, but he had 11 games, led us to a 3-8 record. He needs to go. Or, you know, go back to whatever he was. You know, but, you know, he's, you know, it's just like Jay Gruden. That promotion to head coach was just way too much for him. We need a new head coach. You know, there's rumors that Ron Rivera, the ex-Panthers head coach, might be our coach for next year. I want to get Jim Harbaugh because, you know, Jim Harbaugh can lead any shitty coach to or shitty quarterback to all the way up to the Super Bowl. I mean, hell, look at Colin Kaepernick. You know, as bad of a quarterback as he was, the 2 years that he was good was because of Jim Harbaugh. So I'd like to get Jim as our head coach. Some of the Redskin fans want Mike Tomlin from the Steelers. I disagree with that completely. I think Tomlin's an overrated coach. Who would make a good GM? Joe Gibbs, maybe? I don't know. We just need a new GM. A lot of people are mad at the owner. As long as Snyder decides, you know, to finally let Allen go, because he's been our GM since 2009 and we have hardly done anything this entire decade, you know, I think we'll be alright. But, you know, going into next year's draft, we need a left tackle, we need a left guard, we need a tight end, we need to plug up some holes in the defense. I think we're good at the quarterback position. Alex Smith coming back from injury. Hopefully we'll keep Case Keenum. And then, you know, Haskins, you know, we'll have him in as a third string, just in case. Now, there are players that will more than likely not be on the team next year. Josh Norman is one of them. That don't surprise me at all. As bad as he has played in the past 4 years with him being with us, we should have left his ass in Charlotte. Montez Sweat. Well, no, not Sweat. Sweat's a rookie, but some people are complaining about him. Ryan Kerrigan. I don't know why that thought would be in the Redskins' head to get rid of Kerrigan. The guy is the best player we got on our defense. And losing Kerrigan will fucking hurt this team. Brandon Sheriff. Alright, 2-time Pro Bowler in 5 years. You know, Sheriff needs to stay. You know, otherwise we're going to need a right guard out of the draft as well. Trent Williams is obviously going to go because he's going to refuse to play. And I'm pissed off at that piece of shit. Because that's why we're the worst team in the fucking conference, is because of him. Along with shitty coaching and injuries and just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Fuck Trent Williams for what he did. You know, I really hope we can get somebody in the draft that's as good as him. I really do. But anyway, so if you're one of the 13 teams watching this video, if you're a fan of any of them, Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, 49ers, Bears,
Packers, Vikings, Bills, Jets, Patriots. If I said your team, then congratulations for beating us. You know, you stomped our ass, literally. We sucked. So, definitely a terrible way to wrap up my 9th year, but season 10 will be around next year. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Still be a Redskin fan no matter what happens. You know, hopefully Smith will come back from injury. Maybe we'll be playoff contenders. We've got to play well against our rivals. We play them twice a year. We can't be fucking up these games every fucking year, especially not to the fucking Eagles. I mean, getting swept by them 3 years in a row, unacceptable. We got to beat them next year. The Giants, they're fucking pathetic. So we've got to at least beat them once next year. And as far as the Cowboys go, that's just huge hatred in between that rivalry. We have to beat them at least once as well. We play the whole NFC West. So I think we'll be all right against the Cardinals. The Rams, we should be all right. I don't think we're going to beat the 49ers or the Seahawks. We play the Lions again. I expect us to bust them up. We play the Panthers again. I think we will beat them. And we play the entire AFC North. I don't think we'll stand a chance against the Ravens unless we injure Lamar Jackson. We should be able to beat the Bengals. We should be able to beat the Browns. We may be able to beat the Steelers. Maybe. So, anyway, that's going to be for a different video. When the Redskins turn 88 on July the 9th, you know, I'll be back on here doing my 2020 Redskins prediction. You know, but for now, I'm just wrapping things up, you know. So, stay in there, Redskin Nation. Eventually, we will be back to being good. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this new decade brings, seeing how the Redskins play. The Wizards are just as bad. If you guys want to know about the other DC teams, they're 9-22 right now. Fortunately, they got 51 more games to play, but they need to turn things around. Capitals look really well right now, you know, halfway through the season. Hopefully, the Capitals will get another cup. That's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you guys in the Pro Bowl, and take care, DC Nation.